All right, y'all, welcome back. So, for those of us that are tapped in and understand what's going on now on the world stage with things pertaining to our community, it's quite laughable, highly disrespectful, shocking, but not surprising. Because the audacity. Crazy. But I looked into some sources because I'm like, yeah, where can I find a lot of the contracts, agreements, manumissions, letters, account statements, books for this trade between European powers and Africa and their complicity in that. So the nationalarchives.org.uk, all right, with regard to the British Transatlantic Slave Trade records, has a pretty robust system. And I'm really interested to dive into a lot of these showing agreements. Hold on. Saw something that stood out. Where was it? Because again, those that would be sold into slavery, were called Negroes, whereas those that were doing the selling in Africa were natives. All right, that's a great resource. Check that out. Also, slave voyages, I've mentioned that before. And this resource looks into and covers the contact and contract between Europeans and Africans for nearly 2 centuries. So check that out. And then from Yale University, Slavery and Abolition Portal. And they've got letters, they've got account books, they've got manumissions, they've got a lot with regard to what was happening nationally and all the things. This was a well-oiled business and machine that, dare I say, was bred out of and founded by continental Africans. This whole idea of a slave trade, it started with them. Because there were 3 other trades that happened in history prior to transatlantic slavery and others as well in antiquity and prehistory. That included other historical actors and nations, of course, especially different empires like the Greco-Roman Empire, and all the things. But we do know that what would become chattel slavery, perpetuated mainly by European powers here in North America, was the worst. In other parts of the Americas, was the absolute worst form. As the scripture says, again, nothing like our fathers, nor ourselves, nor anyone that will come after us had ever known. Quite terrible. Yeah. So this will be interesting to explore as well, to pull up some of the actual records, historical records and documents. And I want to look more into these companies too. Be sure to check out, and I'm going to try to make a playlist actually, but the videos that I did with regard to the Rooted series, Complicity, Independent Traders, and Africans in the Making of the Atlantic World, because we actually delved into a few documents to see the contractual and business agreement and terms, and just how, those native to Africa selling off fellow Africans and also prisoners of war who may or may not have been native to Africa profited. Interesting stuffs to see. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up some of these records, and then if I find anything real interesting, I will hop back on here and we'll go through some of this stuff. Oh, look at that. Sold. National Archives.gov.uk. All right, y'all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Also, shout out to all of those commenting very hateful things and ignorant things, mainly coming from people who seek to tether onto our culture or just hate us. You know, it strengthens me when I read it. Other people can't see it because it's held, and then you get blocked. So it's kind of like punching at the air. It's kind of funny. You're exerting a lot of energy for it to go nowhere, and then you get reported. So hilarious stuff, and I actually enjoy reading them because it's a good laugh, and it also just really solidifies like the work that I'm doing. So thank you, keep it up. But yeah, y'all, let me know if y'all would like to journey along with me into these documents below, and I might dedicate a whole different playlist to going into a lot of this paperwork, because it's going to be a lot. Obviously, we still got to get through, you know, the narratives of those enslaved as well from the Library of Congress, the WPA narratives, and the different texts that I want to actually continue reading through. We are going to shift gears, like I mentioned in my impassioned rant video, to delving into a lot of the flora within North America and the medicinal plants, and the different plant families and all the things, so that, yeah, our people can start incorporating wonderful plants outside of what you may know into your life in a wise way that can truly be beneficial. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all be blessed.